Okay, we're dealing with what I've called in our thoughts and prayers. This is something that we see a lot anytime there's, some kind of disaster. But we start with the song, Mambo Sawa Sawa, Mambo Sawa Sawa, Yesu akiwa enzini, Mambo Sawa Sawa, Mambo Sawa Sawa, Mambo Sawa Sawa. It's a Swahili song that basically says that things are getting better. So we're saying that anytime there's a calamity, usually people, try to comfort those at the receiving end of those calamities by saying that they're in our thoughts and our prayers. I know it has become controversial in recent times because people feel we should go beyond thoughts and prayers. But there's also another angle that has not actually been explored. Anytime you tell people that they're in your thoughts and prayers, are they actually in your thoughts and prayers? So the idea here is to make this real, so that whenever we tell people, anytime they go through a difficult time, which is also very scriptural, we are supposed to rejoice with those that rejoice and mourn with those that mourn. Galatians 6 verse 2 clearly says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Even if we are not able to make very practical interventions, we can actually, you know, uh, pray along with people that are going through some tough time or some challenges. In fact, if you look at Ezekiel 22 verse 30, God expects us to be able to stand in the gap on behalf of others. So I sought for a man among them who would make a wall and stand in the gap before me on behalf of the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found no one. You know. So anytime we promise people, anytime we see a need, let's practicalize it. I know sometimes people feel if I'm going to spend 1 hour in prayer, what am I going to be saying? There are so many things to pray about. And this is really part of what this podcast is really intended for. Now, what I've done is I've tried to make it as practical as possible. This is just, if you like, just a starting point. You can draw up a schedule and keep populating that schedule. You can start up on Monday. Why not pray for the nations? There's so many people that are lost. They don't know the Lord. Why don't we pray for them? So that when you say I don't have so much to do in my prayer time, have you started praying for the nation? Are you seeing what is happening in the world that we live in? Are you looking at COVID-19? Are you looking at Africa, for instance? Don't we want leaders that are very progressive, leaders that are on the lookout for the welfare of the people? We should be praying about this. Pray about our particular country and the way the country is being run. So that we can have improvements, in the lives that we live. You can pray for family members. On Tuesday, you can spend that time, pray for family members, mention them by name, not just my family. Mention your cousins, mention your children, mention your in-laws by name, particular needs that they have. Before you know it, you're already spending a lot of time in prayer. And we need to cultivate God's presence. For those that you work together with, or whatever kinds of, things that you're involved in, pray for those people that are around where you are. For person from the school that you attended, you can pray for them. Those that have not yet known the Lord, why shouldn't you be praying for them to be saved? Those that are sick and in hospital, and the Lord encouraged this. I was in hospital, you didn't come to visit me. We need to be people, even if you are not able to go physically to visit, we can be praying for them. Those that are in prison, some are incarcerated without, through no fault of theirs. We can intervene. And then on Sunday, we can pray for church services, that, God will bring souls to his kingdom through the services, will edify his church. We can pray for ministers of the gospel, mention them by name. Pray that God will keep them from falling, uphold them with his right hand. Those that are persecuted for their faith. I still remember Leah Sharibu, the Nigerian girl that has been kidnapped by Boko Haram. We should be praying for people like this, and praying that even their captors will come to the saving knowledge of Christ, that God will keep them in the faith so that they do not compromise their faith. Pray for the knowledge of God to fill the head, even as the waters cover the sea, so that we can expedite the coming of Christ. These are some of the things that we can do, so that we just don't say that we are in our thoughts and our prayers, we're actually doing the thinking and the praying. And this will make for a better life. That's why we started with that song, Mambo Sawa Sawa. There will be abundance of calamities. You can see Moses interceding, and God not bringing his wrath to bear, because in the case of Lot and his family, he was delivered. But if you look at it, in the case of Ezekiel 32, because there was no one to stand in the gap, I have poured out my indignation upon them and consumed them with fire of my fury. I brought their ways down upon their own heads, declares the Lord. So we can actually make a difference. Let's not just mouth thoughts and prayers. Let's actually pray.